everybody. Welcome to Briggs Chapter 13, Performance Measures and Information Systems. This chapter discusses the value of utilizing data collection and performance measures in administrative and program management practice. It covers the key challenges, strengths, and critical issues for agency management and staff that arise when using performance measures and information systems. This is important to social work as a field because most fail to appreciate the value added by utilizing performance measures, and most social work agencies are not taught or prepared to consider performance measurement or information systems as helpful in serving their roles and responsibilities as an agency. This is caused by a couple of things. One of them will not surprise you, and that is that social workers prefer to rely on their intuition as opposed to data. And in fact, due to the unfamiliarity of utilizing data and the fact that it is contrary to their intuition-based knowledge, practice evaluation and performance measures can often be viewed by social workers as busy work or not aligned with their particular authority-based approach to social work practice. The chapter points out, in the face of that pervasive kind of outlook on behalf of social work, that social work has an ethical obligation to practice in an evidence-informed manner and according to the Code of Ethics. And so that really is kind of a call to seriously take a look at performance measures and data collection systems as it relates to effective practice. Obstacles to incorporating data collection and performance measures in an agency include a tendency of social workers to want to practice by instinct, as we mentioned earlier, a failure to see the benefit of utilizing data collection and performance measures to evaluate and shape performance, and the idea that data collection is very difficult and hard to understand, as well as tedious and time-consuming. Section 2, the value of using performance measures in integrative practice in and for larger systems. Here we have a list of the 25 skills that problem-oriented, integrated practice professionals should be capable of performing in small and large systems. And I'm not going to read them all to you. They are in my outline. If you happen to have that up, you can look. But these are just the basic social work skills, and they kind of form the basis of what performance measures could look like. So you can read through those, and that kind of gives you the framework for what we're looking for when we're talking about performance measures, because we use these performance measures to direct and shape behavioral outcomes and desired performance. And this can help management assess the above competencies, the 25 things that we're trying to do, by revealing which intended outcomes are low rated and helping to target the intervention where needed. This information, once gathered, acts as a resource for direct service workers, program supervisors, and agency administrators. Basically, knowledge is power. Once you have it, you can do a lot of things with it. In fact, this data can be used not only to assess single performances, but also the many contingent actions of a program. It allows for management to gain an overview of the actions and reactions of staff, management personnel, and service beneficiaries over time, which establishes the foundation of a successful intervention. This data should be carefully selected and managed to increase the reliability and the validity of the information. By gathering the correct data from performance measures, management can find and track desirable outcomes, which produce an overview of how the agency is performing across multiple dimensions. Performance measures aid in continuous quality assurance, and the proper selection of performance measures help management set the trajectory to hitting program achievement goals. Additionally, the assessment of performance measures helps an agency see what isn't working as well and structure interventions effectively to that effect. Overall, performance measures and data collection are essential to an agency for problem solving, achieving goals, and increasing performance and the effectiveness of all agency stakeholders. Basically, it creates a bird's eye view for management to not only see what they do as management, but also everyone else in the equation as well. This whole 360-degree view of how an agency is functioning allows management to skillfully direct outcomes towards greater efficiency and success. Section 3, the strengths of performance measures and information systems. So from this 360-degree view, organizational leaders are able to track an agency's strengths and decide what is working, what is not. The agency, therefore, as a result of this, becomes more nimble, and it has clarity about what makes it as an agency both good and distinct, which gives it clout in the task environment. Performance measures and data collection allow an agency to say with confidence that it is effective at its stated mission, and then it therefore has the information to back that claim up. It creates effective staff management by allowing an agency to know their staff intimately, by selecting the right contingencies for evaluation. Through that process, when proper reinforcement is in place, agencies are able to stay the course until staff behavior is changed for the better and goal attainment is achieved. Performance measures and data collection allow for an agency to have that wow factor, which is when organizations are able to go above and beyond the regular scope of service without compromising the financial integrity and the growth of the organization. Performance measures for administration and management include the following: recorded testimony and verbal reports, indirect measurement indices such as permanent product reports of supervision and administrative meetings, direct measurements of observations in behavior, actions, and events. Performance measures and their regular use will provide empirical evidence of the following. So this is the information that you collect. The types of clients mandated to seek service and those who seek agency service, those who receive agency services, the range of issues that they present, the scope of services provided, the outcomes observed, and the challenges experienced by staff, management, and the organization as a whole. In short, performance measures allow the manager to track and monitor key functions, and this information can be used in a multitude of ways to help performance. Section 4. The challenges and critical issues of performance measures and information systems. So these are the problems with it. Social workers generally fail to collect physical data to determine their efficacy unless they're mandated to do so. Kind of goes back to the whole intuition thing. And additionally, there's a lot of evidence that few people enjoy recording data, which further deters the process. So reasons why social service agencies avoid and underutilize data include research phobia, basically bringing student fears into the workplace, lack of organizational support for sustaining a data-driven culture, too few aids and guides for integrating research designs into actual agency practice. There's just not enough of them out there. Inadequate incentives to motivate staff to operate in a data-driven culture. Insufficient evidence of the positive effects of using data on the social worker's overall effectiveness. Lack of incentives and disincentives from legislative and funding source mandates that further block by automatic buy-in of staff to adopt a data-driven culture. Basically, if you're not required to do it through legislation or funding, you don't really want to do it. Despite these concerns, there's evidence that it does work. And it is essential that administrators sanction the value of using data in all aspects of the organization. Additionally, when teaching client, consumers, staff, and families to collect data, it is helpful to keep the methods simple and as straightforward as possible. So as we're trying to implement data collection systems, these are some things that we consider. When stakeholders understand why data collection is important and understand how to do it, and recognize its value in improving outcomes, implementation is much easier, and fostering these conditions are the responsibility of management. Key skills for building an accurate data collection system include teaching the client and the staff to collect baseline data, teaching the staff and clients how to check for reliability and validity in their data, and teaching the staff and client the value and use of functional analysis for the data collected. Section 5, information systems for administration and management. The use of information systems is rapidly expanding for social service agencies as they transition from a service economy to a global knowledge economy. As what technology is capable of grows, we see more of a trend towards the use of evidence-based practice and a push for accountability in management, and that is making data management even more vital. Types of information systems in nonprofit agencies consist of client-consumer records, assessments, financial records, personnel records, program compliance, agency compliance, program and agency specific tracking and monitoring systems, and internal reporting systems. As technology has advanced and expanded, records are now being kept digitally, and paper records have been converted, which is a huge benefit all the way around. Saves money, much more agile, much better access, a lot of strengths to that. In conclusion, performance measures aid social workers in the 7 components to use in structuring the foundations of social work practice and change. Essentially, they are absolutely vital. I've pulled these performance measures straight from the book. Performance measures aid social workers in setting goals for social services or planned treatment. They are useful in tracking and monitoring the reduction in problem severity. Performance measures aid social workers in setting client objectives. They help social workers delineate measurable behavior change indicators that systemically approximate the full actualization of the desired behaviors. Performance measures aid social workers in selecting the targets of change from a bevy of change processes and a myriad of treatment events. So it helps you narrow things down. They allow the social worker to track the target problem with the right contingencies included in the treatment approach. Performance measures aid the program manager and the social worker in structuring the intervention. They aid in achieving compliance to fidelity of the intervention approach. Their regular use allows you to track the frequency of the treatment plan and the implementation errors by the program managers and staff. Performance measures are useful to plan, implement, and evaluate a treatment service contract. They aid the program manager and the direct care worker in identifying and targeting problem areas, tracking the frequency and dosages of the treatment strategies, and monitoring compliance with administrative rules and management standards for delivery quality services. Performance measures aid the program manager and the social worker in supervising program effects and client systems reactions to the programming. They support the use of data in making treatment decisions and tracking treatment errors and treatment successes. And finally, performance measures aid the program manager and the social worker in managing the sustainability of treatment gains. Data from performance measures that track treatment gains are useful during the follow-up phase of program management, as it provides opportunities for giving stakeholders and service beneficiaries positive performance feedback. So essentially, the take-home message of this chapter is social work as a profession typically doesn't like a lot of data. They don't like to collect a lot of data. They don't know what to do with it when they do collect it. There isn't a culture of a data-driven approach in the field of social work. But we should really rethink that, because data is power. The more information there is, the more facets of a problem you can see and actually, have some tools to create change. And when you have data, you have power in the form of knowing what it is that your agency is actually doing, whether it is or isn't what you want to do. It gives you a foothold and a strategy for making changes. It's a really, really useful tool. So kind of despite our historic bend towards not wanting to utilize data, there's a lot of benefit to it. It does take some implementation. You've got to teach your staff. You have to teach, your clients and everyone how to do it. You have to make sure you have management and administration that knows both how to manage data, how to collect data, and how to interpret data. But long story short, it is worth it. So that is the take home here. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation, and I wish you all a wonderful day.